Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. Especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general message, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got the Chariot card. I feel like you're somebody with a lot of focus, a lot of discipline right now. You're in service to something higher in your life. I feel like you have a purpose right now. I feel like you're trying to do the very best job that you can. Like you're trying to be the person that this thing needs. You know, you're really trying to step up to the task here, and you're trying to carry something forward. You're trying to bring it to fruition. Okay, this is a card of fortification. This is the card of, to me, it really feels like we are, it's our job to protect something. That it's our job to, I almost feel like this is literally like you transporting something or someone, or making a move, or bringing something sacred on a journey. Okay, you're somebody with a lot of like close ties with family. Okay, this could be something about a household move or something along those lines. Okay, but this is the card of, basically saying, let's keep moving, but let's keep our armor on. We're protecting ourselves and protecting something else. We have precious cargo, let's say, right? But we need to keep moving. Okay, that's the important thing. It's easy to protect the cargo if we just don't leave the house. But we're out here on this quest, and we have to be disciplined, we have to be devoted, we have to be smart. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's crossing your path right now in life. We see the Libra energy. You could be encountering a Libra person in your life. This is the Justice card. This is the card of discernment. Okay, this is the card of balance. This is the card of making little minor adjustments to our path. Okay, to our technique, to our behaviors, to our attitudes. Here we have the Death card, the Two of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and a Six of Wands. That's victory. That's great. That means a successful journey. Okay. We have a Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, a Knight of Cups, and Four of Pentacles. There is a strong Cancer reference in your life as well. I wonder if you have a strong Cancer placement, or if perhaps, perhaps you should watch the Cancer reading that we do. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Okay. Now, let's look around the room. We started off with a lot of major arcana, right? We had 1, 2, 3. I thought we were going to get a lot more, but no, that's it. Okay. I think with the Justice card here, I feel like you're kind of, you're encountering a situation that doesn't quite seem to be fair to you. It seems as if the cards are kind of stacked against you. I think that the odds are not in your favor for something, but nevertheless, you're pushing through anyway. So you might be at that part of the journey where it feels like you're being tested with a lot of things that it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair. right? But I like the Six of Wands in the future position. So we have a lot of good fire energy right here. Okay, we've got water energy on these sides here. We don't have any air cards. We don't have any swords, right? Yes, no swords. This is sort of a sword, right? I mean, it's a Libra energy. It's an air card. And the figure is holding the sword of justice, the sword of fairness, the sword of discernment, right? That sword is pointed downwards where it can pick things apart, where it can cut things up into groups and split things and analyze things, right? So it's our ability to be introspective. It's our ability to make little adjustments, little corrections. The Chariot is kind of going straight forward on this path, and it says, I should be able to just go straight forward. Well, what if the road is curving around? Just, no, I'm going to go straight forward. It's not fair that the road is curving, that there's the twists and turns snaking around me as I'm just trying to go straight. Well, no, we have to kind of go with the flow. We've got to adjust our trajectory to deal with what the road is doing, even if it doesn't feel that it's fair, even if the road's taking us uphill. It's, well, now I'm burning more gas. I don't want to go uphill, or if it's taking us into a bumpier road, a bumpier section of road. We have to be able to adjust to that. We have to adjust ourselves, our behavior, not expecting the outer world, the outer circumstances or the road to adjust to my trajectory. Okay? And it doesn't seem fair, does it? It seems like it should be more balanced. It feels like it should be a compromise. Well, how about I do a little bit of maneuvering, and how about the road? How about you straighten out a little bit? I'll go ahead and put more gas in the tank, but can you not have so many potholes, as I drive? It doesn't really work that way. We have to sort of take the conditions as we find them and say, what do I have to do to get through this and to make it work? What do I got to do to get to my long-term outcome here? The power, the material success, the fortitude, right? What do I have to do to get home, or to get to this, maybe this is the new home, right? Maybe this is the new job. Maybe this is us returning to a position of safety and security. Okay. This is safety, security, and integrity, right? This is a very wonderful platform. Okay. This is kind of like our sanctuary, or like our home base. Okay. So there might be literally a physical household move taking place in your life right now. And it could be that there are a lot of challenges that we just are getting tired of. We're getting tired of all these little things happening that we've got to then sort of deal with. We got to roll with the punches, and we got to figure it out. It's not fair. So we don't have any swords cards here, though, because I feel as if with this Libra energy, you are just kind of like, you're grinning and bearing it. You're sort of biting the bullet, and you're saying, this is not fair. I'm frustrated, but I'm not going to scream and cry about it. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm going to just adjust. I'm going to shift. I have to maintain the sort of balance, and it's like the shock absorbers in the car. It's not fair that it's a bumpy road, but they're doing their job. They're kind of like, they're trying to make it as smooth of a ride as possible. If one of your shock absorbers says, well, no, I just don't want to do it, I refuse, right? It's going to be a bumpy ride for the passengers. So I feel like whatever you're doing right now, you are on a journey, maybe literally a journey, that you have to adjust to the circumstances in order to make this move easier, in order to make this job kind of go smoother. Okay? So I don't know if it's a work thing, maybe it's a work move, maybe it's a transition to a new company, maybe your company's moving to a new building or something, maybe your family is moving to a new building, maybe this is just us trying to stabilize ourselves in our life, and that's what the shock absorbers do, right? They try to stabilize our lives. Well, you're achieving that. You're succeeding in that in that mission, in that task of yours to stabilize this particular part of the journey. Okay. And that's the task before you right now. That's the obstacle. This is quite an easy path this way. This is kind of like there was a problem, there was a decision that I had to make, there was there was some plan that I've put into motion. Here I am in motion. Here I am succeeding. Yay for me, victory, right? I decided to do it, I did it, I'm doing it, and then yay, I crossed the finish line, it worked, right? But we have this issue here of this Libra energy. A lot of unfair things seem to be happening. A lot of little problems are popping up, and I think what we're saying to ourselves is, look, this should have been an easy 1, 2, 3 operation. Why are there so many of these little things that keep happening? It's just, we're not asking why here. There's no other swords cards here that are saying, why me? Or even trying to figure out why. Maybe in a very rational way. Let's see, why did this happen? No, it doesn't matter. The fact is, we got to fix it. The fact is, we have to deal with it, and we have to adjust. We have to compensate for the problems. It's like someone, I don't forget where this parable came from. Forgive me if you know where it came from. Put it in the comments. A person gets bit by a snake. Okay, and instead of going to the hospital, they're chasing after the snake saying, why did you bite me? What did I do wrong? Why did you bite me? No, you got to just deal with the problem. The thing bit you, right? I forget where that comes from. I don't know. I don't even know if I have it accurate, so forgive me on that one. But down beneath the surface, we have the Death card. This is your unconscious energy. Okay, this is something inside of you, and this is change. This is, to me, a feeling like all experience is useful. I think you're somebody that does not always ask the why of the universe. Why? I think you take things as they come, you deal with them, you put them behind you. You get bit by the snake runs off, you go get the anti-venom, you recover, bandaged up, you're okay. You put it behind you. You learn something. But in that moment where the sand is falling through the hourglass, we're not concerned about the next grain of sand that's coming or the grains of sand that are already at the bottom of the hourglass. We're just focused on what I have to deal with right here in the moment. This is the process of change, evolution, transformation. This is the nature of nature. This is the fundamental force of the universe. Okay? And I feel like you're kind of in the middle of a pilgrimage. I feel like you've made a big decision in your life, and you realize that it's a slow and gradual process. You're not somebody that expects overnight results. You're willing to do the work. Okay. I like that we have a 2, a 3, and a 4. There are court cards here which tell me that you're bringing someone along. There are other people involved in this with you, maybe coworkers, family, friends. And those are a concern for you. I think that you realize that what you're doing in life doesn't just affect you. It affects these other people too, whoever they are, loved one. It feels more like family than it does like work to me. It feels like you kind of packed your family up into the car and you're driving to a new house or something, right? It feels like something along those lines. But the Death card as this unconscious energy, I think we need to bring it to the conscious level. We need to consciously acknowledge this death energy inside of us that says, things happen. There may not be a reason why. We may not understand the reason why. We just have to deal with it and keep going. Okay? Because sometimes if this card is in the unconscious position, it could be saying that we have a hard time just letting things go. That we have a hard time releasing things, and we are sometimes, and human beings do this, we try to search for answers. We're human beings. We're the ones that are going to chase after the snake and say, why did you bit me? Can you explain it, what I did wrong? Or how did I offend you? Or why are you angry at me? Why are you attacking me? I need an explanation. We're the only being really that requires that, even when here we are, with a snake bite, and that those seem pretty dire. I've never had a snake bite, thankfully. Maybe you have. Maybe this card is a reference to snakes for you. It could be that you've been having more dreams of snakes in your life, or there's some kind of snake symbolism that I think is probably popping up in your life here or there. But if it's not, be on the lookout for them, because I feel like your unconscious is trying to show you something here that basically says, look, I don't know if it's like a don't cry over spilled milk kind of thing. Just deal with what's going on. Compensate, adjust, rebalance when you need to. Don't waste a lot of time trying to ask why or to, let's deal with the situation at hand. Okay? When you're driving on the road, we have to just kind of take the road as it comes. We have to deal with what's right in front of us rather than thinking of, wow, that pothole back there, I wonder if they're ever going to fix it. I wonder, why was there a pothole? How did that pothole get there? Why did I have to drive over it? What did it do to the car? No, we kind of just have to be on the lookout for the next pothole. Yeah. And I think it's a bumpy road for you. Okay. But just as the road passes underneath the car and the sand falls through the center of the hourglass, it's in the past now. We got to leave it back there. Okay. Now let's talk about the past. The Two of Wands in the background position. I think that in the recent past there was a kind of a fight going on in your life. It feels like a struggle for control. Okay. It feels as if there was a decision that had to be made, and I feel like maybe there were two or more people that had different opinions. Okay. It could be that you are taking your chariot and you're leaving a situation in which you didn't have enough equal say. Okay, maybe this is a job, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's something else. It feels as if there was two very strong personalities and each one wanted to have their way and make their decision. And I think rather than stay here and try to battle this out, I feel like you're sort of taking a different road. Yeah. This is a card of dominion. This is the card of, who controls what out here, right? So rather than, I think, put a piece of tape down the center of your bedroom and say, that's your side, this is mine, I feel like you just are you're kind of going in a different way, a different direction, okay? Because this is behind you. This is that kind of fight. This is that conflict that you're leaving in the rearview mirror. Okay? And this may really be why we have to now adjust. Now we have to rebalance our life. We've got to figure out how to deal with all these things that are happening. Maybe it doesn't seem fair. But you're going to come out victorious here. Okay? Things are going to work out very, very well for you. The 2 and the 3 here, right, is a 5. The 6 comes after the 5, obviously. But the 6 is victory after strife. After the 5 of Wands comes the 6 of Wands. So after the struggle, after all the unfair calamities, the unfair stress and struggle and conflict, you are going to be okay. You are achieving a state of harmony and confidence. And I think it really, to me, feels like in the very near future, you're going to realize that you made the right choice. This journey is the appropriate journey for you, and you're going to be successful. This is kind of a growing confidence. This is like a growing awareness, right? This is Jupiter in Leo. It's kind of like this expanding pride that says, hey, I did it. I made the difficult decision, and it worked out. And the 2 of Wands, right? Maybe we're scared a little bit. Maybe we're unsure what the future was going to bring us. Okay? Maybe we feel like, I kind of made a rash or hasty or impulsive decision back here. It is Mars and Aries after all. That maybe I kind of did something that I didn't really think it through. But hey, it's working out. You're going to have to you're going to have to adjust, rebalance your life. You're going to have to compensate, etc. to stay level, But it's going to be okay. Now, the 3 of Pentacles at the top here, it's work, right? And it kind of feels like what you were hoping for was that the situation works. However it needs to happen, you just want to get where you're going. You want things to be okay. You want it to work, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't think you broke up with somebody. I don't think you quit your job. I think what we did was we sort of, we spoke up. Okay? And we said that whatever it takes, I'm going to make this life work. Whether this means I stay here and fight it out, whether this means I have to go in a different direction, it's not fair, but I'm going to make it work. Okay? So this is us kind of knowing knowing what to do in order to restore the balance, in order to compensate for the things that we find on our path. Okay? And it's not necessarily that you are that you're allowing some kind of oppositional energy to come into your life and shake things up, and then you've got to make up for it. It's like somebody comes into your office and dumps all your papers onto the ground, and then you've got to fix it. You've got to compensate for that by putting all the papers back. I think that this card is really this is a card about saying no. This card is about kind of putting our foot down and saying I'm not going to tolerate this kind of thing anymore. But with a 3, I feel like this is, obviously it's a 5 energy, right? This is change. We're sort of in a new present moment here, right? This is the past. This conflict energy was behind you. And what you have now is you're trying to make things work. So you're making the adjustments that you need to make in order to bring to fruition this 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles is potential. It's kind of like saying this could work. And since it's at the top of the path of the dove, this is us hoping that it does work. Well, if we want something to work, we've got to be willing to perhaps compromise. Okay? Perhaps we're sort of sitting down at the table and we're saying, okay, this is the plan. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to share things, and this is how we can work together. And maybe this is really a sit down and a conversation that we're having in order to put an end to the conflict. We're saying, okay, you know what? We all want this to work. Let's put the past behind us. Let's figure out how to restore the balance. Okay? Maybe the 6 of Wands then becomes the teamwork. Everything is kind of falling into place. People have agreed. There's been that compromise. There's some diplomacy going on, and it's a win for everybody. Because the 6 of Wands is not just, I've won, everybody else lost. This is kind of a card of teamwork. Okay? Kind of a card of teamwork. So it may not feel all that fair that the responsibility falls on your shoulders, but some of it does. Only because we're responsible for our behavior. We're not responsible for what anybody else does. Okay? And we have to be very introspective and very discerning to say, how can I do better? What do I need to do to make this work? So I'm willing to put my best foot forward. If they aren't, that's on them, but I'm going to. Because that's who I am. That's what I care about. Okay? So let's look at the path of the serpent now. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I feel like you're somebody that doesn't complain a lot, right? You kind of like, the no swords cards here are getting to me. It's rare that we don't have a sword card. I feel that you keep your thoughts to yourself mostly. I feel like you have a lot of feelings. This is the Queen of Cups, very deep emotions. I feel like right now you're kind of, you're realizing what you care about, what you want, what is important to you. Okay? And once we figure that out, once we look inside of ourselves, once we lift the veil of our own emotions and think, how do I feel about this? And what do I want? Does this feel so wrong and bad that I just need to kind of get in my chariot and drive away? Deal with that kind of, deal with that outcome. I shouldn't have to leave, but maybe since I can only control my behavior, maybe that's what I need to do. Or maybe we search ourselves, we lift the veil of our own emotions. We have this radical self-honesty, self-acceptance, self-love, emotional transparency. And we say, you know what? I care about this situation. I love it. And we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out, whether it's a work thing, a friendship, whether it is, maybe this is a move from kind of one place to the other. We're arriving at stability. What we know is that our long-term outcome, the long-term outcome is going to be a stable situation with safety, security, integrity. Short-term outcome, everybody's going to have to cooperate and work together if we're going to get that. Okay? So I feel like we're kind of realizing that, yeah, as angry as I may have been with that Two of Wands, we're going to come together. We need to figure out a way to make it work. Okay? And in the environment here, I think that with a Knight of Pentacles, we're looking at the future. We're having a vision of the future. And this is in terms of your relationships. This position, right? It's the position of your relationships. So this card and this position is kind of saying like we're being very discerning about our relationships right now. And we're wondering, is there a future here? You know, yeah, I could stay here and make it work. I want to make it work, but what does the future look like? What's the goal? You know, and maybe this is the conversation we need to have where we say, look, what's our goal here? Everybody can agree on that. What do we see? What's at the top of the mountain? You see the Knight is looking at the top of the mountain. We can't see the top. All we see is the side of the mountain. The top is over here somewhere. The top is, I mean, really is no summit, right? It's shrouded in mist, a veil of clouds, right? But we're trying to agree, like, what's our goal here? Okay? What's the future vision that we have here? Who are we? Where are we? What are we doing long term? Okay? And I think what we're seeing in this case is kind of a Four of Pentacles. We're seeing, okay, we just want things to stabilize. We want things to function. We want there to be a system in place. We want to like just plug the leaks and get things functioning smoothly again. We're trying to make it work. I hope it works. This is it working, right? 3 to a 4. And so we're looking at our relationships and we're thinking, is this relationship going to work? You know, this friendship, this romantic thing, if it is a work situation, is this relationship going to work between me and the company, between me and the boss, or, you know, me and whatever? What's the goal here? What's the future going to be? And what does the road look like? You know, because again, I kind of feel like we have a particular route that we want to take, but now we know that it's not going to be a smooth ride. That we're going to have to, it's not going to be fair. It's not always going to be balanced. You know, it's not always going to be equal 50-50. Am I okay with that? Okay. And then what we have in the position of the fear or the obstacle is I think that we're going to put our heart on the line, right? This is a cardinal water energy. It's the Cancer energy, just as our Chariot card is the Cancer card, Cancer power card. Okay. Our biggest fear is that we're going to open ourselves up to undue vulnerabilities. See, this one here, this is armor. Carrying something, holding it close to you, protecting it. You got a canopy, you got these big wheels, you've got armor, you've got these beasts in front of you protecting this Holy Grail. This one is open and vulnerable. No armor, no chariot, no beasts, no protection, not holding the Grail close and protecting it, but just kind of holding it way out here where anybody can knock it out of your hand and snatch it away, right? And so to me, it feels like there is this kind of a worry that we're opening ourselves up to more kind of unfair treatment, to opening ourselves up to more possible danger or disaster or calamity. Okay. And so it's kind of like when we agree to do something, we're kind of weighing those options like, okay, it's not the safest choice. Safest choice would be stay home. So by saying yes and going on this journey with you, I'm kind of opening myself up to getting hurt, you know. Anytime you go for a walk, you could sprain your ankle. You know what I mean? Anytime you go outside, it could rain. Anytime you're holding a bowl of ice cream, I could drop it. It's kind of the worst fear, right? And so this is the idea that the worst fear is that we're going to open ourselves up on this path, and we're going to take this, we're going to be on this adventure, and we're going to kind of lose the thing that we're cherishing. We're going to fumble it. We're going to drop the precious cargo. Okay, that we're not going to arrive at our safety here with the Four of Pentacles. But this is the projected outcome for you. This is the long-term outcome, and it is safety, security, integrity. Okay, whatever you are transporting, whatever you are moving, whatever quest you are on, You are bringing it home safely despite your fears. And sometimes this card is about the giving and receiving of love and affection. So in a way, it kind of is about like the fear here is that I'm going to open myself up and I'm going to love and I'm going to give of myself, and the other person is going to take advantage of it or not reciprocate, right? Or that it's not authentic, and then I'm going to feel like a chump because I opened myself up, okay? So this could be any type of relationship for you, any kind of a journey or a move, a shift from one state of being to another, okay? From a state of conflict to a state of security and stability. Yeah, let's look at the mystery card. Maybe the Emperor. I want to see, I think it's going to be more swords card. I think it's going to be a sword card. I think it maybe will be the Ace of Swords, maybe a Six of Swords. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. I want to say water. I want to say it's going to be a Six of Cups, or at least a Four of Cups. Let's take a look. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes, I like that. Because this is expansion. This is growth. This is saying that, look, we're setting ourselves up in a nice foundation. That foundation is the starting point for further growth, for infinite expansion. The Four of Pentacles is just the safe foundation, the safe platform we've arrived to. It's from there, it's from that home base that we're going to reach for the stars. You know? So the Four of Pentacles, it may seem like this is what we're after. The long-term goal. I just want to have a stable life. I want to have good habits, good routines. I want to have some safety, some security, and some stability in my life. From there, everything else is extra, right? This is kind of like basic needs. I got water, shelter, food. I got family, I got my pets, my plants, my people. I'm like, this is the basics that we need in life, right? The Wheel of Fortune is extra. The Wheel of Fortune is saying you're going to get so much more than that. Like this is going to be an infinite expansion. This is also the card of divine timing. This is the card of luck. So when we're talking about these potholes and things on the road that seem unfair, like why do I got to deal with all this stuff? You know, why can't it just be a smooth road to where I want to be? Why do I got to deal with all these things, you know? I think we have to assume that Spirit has a good reason for it. You know, we get these potholes in the road, and it just seems like nonsense to us. It seems like it's just unfair. I don't want it. I don't know why I have to hit the potholes every time. Hey, I'm just a bad driver. I don't know. But see, without the Swords cards, we're not questioning it. I think you're trusting that there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm going through this, either to test my resolve, either to get me to pay attention. Maybe the pothole is kind of, you know, jostles you to wake up. Maybe you're starting to drift in the other lane or something, right? I mean, we don't know. So we're just trusting that whatever is happening on our path, Spirit has placed there for a reason. Okay. But I think this card's saying that, look, your luck is changing. You may be dealing with some unfair things now, but you're going to start having more green lights, more smooth roads. Okay. More doors are going to open for you where there weren't any yet. What you have to do first is get your precious cargo to safety. And then the universe is going to open up the rest of the doors for you. Things are going to open up the rest of the way. I think your luck is changing. I think you're getting to the top of the wheel. I think your expansion, this life of yours is going to grow infinitely. Okay. Your fortunes are changing for the better. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. We're going to do an extended reading as well. Okay. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link up top and there's a link down below. New readings for Aries, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.